Alrighty, hope everyone. My name is Mr. Fruit, and welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 147. In today's episode, we talk about some movie stuff. I saw Bullet Train, and we kind of get on a whole tangent, Brad Pitt, whatnot. We talk about Destiny 2, new reveal, the new season, the new expansion Lightfall coming out, quality of life updates, a little bit about Gamescom, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, new trailer dropped during the World Championships. Talk a little bit about that. Football's on the way. I think we talked about some other things, as well as Q&A.
Yep.
So stay tuned for all that and more. Wait. You said you'd read a review.
Oh, I did say I'd read a review. So let's see if there are any reviews. Good call, Mr. Fruit. Good call.
I'm shocked I remembered.
Proud
of myself, frankly.
GG Over Easy. We have over 3,000 reviews, by the way.
In the last week?
That'd be sick. Here we go. We have a review here from Bonka Tonka Toy. Says, I look forward to this pod weekly. Says 32-year-old mixed female committed community staying here. I appreciate y'all. Follow all their Twitch channels, Rob, and especially Blue. Don't feel bad about having an expression your opinions. The true stands will be here. Clap, clap. So there you go.
Thank you, Bonka Tonka Truck Toy.
Tonka Toy.
Bonka Tonka Toy. For that review, 5 stars, right?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't have read it if it was not 5 stars.
Because yes, we will. We want your honest opinion.
But we don't.
But we won't read it.
That honest of opinion.
If it's there is some fine print here. You need to, read the room. Because it's not like there is no other rating.
We're
so
almost at 150. Damn, we're old.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in a second. Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
From cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us where it all hurts, and it really hurts. That's why I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With every purchase, I'm earning cash back thanks to Upside. Anytime I'm filling up on my tank, I use this app, and I'm literally earning like a couple bucks every now and then, and it's awesome. It's like the only thing I use that like technically like earns me like points and earns me cash back and stuff. It's such a rewarding program. To get started, download the free Upside app, use promo code GG, and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you'd like to buy on Upside. Check in at the business, pay per usual with a credit card or debit card, and get paid. Download the free Upside app and use promo code GG to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using promo code GG.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 147. I'm here joined by the most attractive gentleman on the internet.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Ryan Reynolds?
Classic. Yeah, we got Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is here? Oh my God. We've really come a long way, guys.
We got Brad Pitt, which I actually saw Bullet
Ryan
Train.
Gosling?
Have you guys seen Bullet Train?
I have not. I actually really want to see it.
Bullet Train.
It was really good.
I don't know, man. Like there's only a few like action movies that I'm okay with, and John Wick is one of them. Every other one I think just feels like it's stupid.
Have you seen it?
Have you seen
No.
it? Okay, so
why do you think it's stupid?
So how do you think it's
I just think it looks, most action movies these days other than John Wick just kind of look I don't know. Not for me.
Unfortunate.
I mean, you say stupid, but John Wick, the reason John Wick is so
Very
popular is
stupid.
because it leans into the stupid.
Exactly, and then I feel like the others try and take themselves too seriously.
That's fair.
Okay, well,
that's fair.
You'll enjoy this because it was really funny. It's funny, great cast, like the story, executed well. It's not going to win any awards, I don't think, but it was good. Although afterwards, I heard about some wild stuff. I had no idea what's going on with like Brad Pitt and his family. You guys know about all that? Wow.
I don't read the tabloids.
Yeah, either do I. Was there some Reddit thread after the fact or something?
Oh, okay.
He like I don't think he even really has like access or relations with like any of his children.
Really?
Yeah, like I think he heard about where his daughter decided to go from college from like TMZ because he didn't even know. Because apparently it all goes back. I don't know much of it or read much of it. I don't know what's credible either. So like I'm not saying one way or the other. It's just what I was reading. Like I guess it all culminated eventually because the whole thing came out that Angelina Jolie filed for some.
I remember they like broke up years ago and
Yeah,
like got
but
a divorce
just
and
recently
separation and all that.
she was wondering. I think she like was inquiring or something as to why the FBI hadn't arrested Brad Pitt. And the reason it was with the FBI specifically was because it was like it happened on a plane, and so I guess when that happened, it's federal. It's not like specific to a state or anything. And there was like they were on I don't know if it was a private flight. I assume it was some sort of private flight. It was him, Angelina Jolie, his family, like some of his kids, and he'd been drinking or something. Something happened. Somebody set him off. And he like reached.
You know, we're run through. It's not that great of a movie. It's like what? Like,
well, he like she says was physical with their son in some way, and that was like the final straw for her because it had been talked about and she kind of alluded to and known there's like some domestic affairs, but I think for her it was like okay, well now it's the kids, that's too far I guess. So it all went from there, and then like he got estranged and lost custody or something. Like this has all been. I'm gonna be honest. I never heard a single thing about any of this. It was relatively recent.
It was pretty big over like when they first broke up. It was like, yeah, it was the details were very vague, and obviously I don't know all the details either. But yeah, it was like such a the it's why it took him such a long time to get back into acting because for a long time neither of them really did a lot of roles.
Yeah,
they just kind of
sense.
here and there maybe, but for the most part they were they took a step back to do the whole family thing. But yeah, the whole like Angelina was like, you know what, see you dude, and Brad Pitt was like the thing that for me kind of adds validity to most of it is the fact that Brad Pitt has never really ever denied this stuff.
True. Yeah.
He's kind of just been like, yeah, things happen, I guess. So
imagine
I don't know.
my surprise when I'm like, what's the general consensus on Bullet Train? And I'm reading, I'm like, wow, what's going on here? I like, again, I'm not saying one way or the other because I didn't do my due diligence. I just kind of read that. I was like, that's kind of crazy. But I'm not into like the big celeb stuff. Like literally, that's the reason I didn't even know. I'll be honest. I don't even think I realized they broke up. I think the only time I see celeb stuff, yeah, is
it's been a while.
Because like at the grocery store when you're about to check out, you'll see like the tabloids, and I see random things, and I just see things, and I'm like, well, I just assume they're all just fake, and that's the only time I ever see stuff. So I probably saw something like that, and I was like, oh, that's probably made up. Or so I was just completely out of the loop.
Well, yeah, it's been a while, and yeah, he's kind of been he's pretty much not in his kids' lives, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on
right.
How many they got?
How
kids
things
too.
went
How many
out.
kids they have?
I want to say at least 2, more than that. I think.
No, they got way more than that.
That's what I'm saying. At least 2. That's all I know.
They have quite a few. I think it's at least 3.
I think it's like up in the 5s.
Probably 13. Who knows? Not me.
I swear, like Angelina wanted to like adopt kids from like every continent or something like that.
It was just a little upsetting to hear though, because like I like Brad Pitt, like most of Brad Pitt's acting in movies.
This is like kind of one of those moments where it's like I try my best to separate the art from the artist, especially when it comes to acting. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately there's a lot of cases of actors just being shitty. And I mean, it's kind of been perpetuated by Hollywood dude culture, right? So whenever this stuff happens, it's certainly not surprising to me, but it's always like, hey man,
Well,
you
and,
know, would have been nice to be better to your kids.
and no excuse, but I think just like that, a lot of it's exacerbated by the fact too that like you're just always in the public eye, and like
100%.
life just isn't the
It
same.
definitely changes things.
Yeah.
And that's not an excuse. I'm just saying, like, I think the reason too, like, we find out so much of this stuff. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence. I just think it's a product of the fact, like, we will never know what it's like to live like that. And I can,
100%.
like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
I mean, you do know to a certain extent. Like,
Yeah, but
living
like,
it.
not even like, I can't imagine being afraid to go out because I will, no matter where I go,
You will be
there will be,
recognized.
I'll be recognized. There will be no privacy. Instead, it's like if I go to a gaming convention, that's the one time where I'm like, hey, some people here, like, more often than not, some people might recognize me. But like that's
But
it.
at that point, but you've also chosen to go to the convention.
Right.
So it's not.
Like
yeah.
I don't go out.
So I get it.
I was talking to Rob's dad at the engagement party, and he was like talking about like, do you get noticed a lot? And Rob always talks about how he asked that question. And it's like same thing. It's like, what's it like? I'm like, I don't treat it any different because 99% of the time I don't get noticed. Like for me, going out isn't a different. I don't have to think about it any differently.
You're a niche. You're a niche. I mean, like every YouTuber, you're a niche internet micro celebrity.
So like every couple months, one person's like, "Are you Mr. Fruit?" That's completely different. So like, and I'll say even that though, like, even the little bit I understand, I wouldn't want the high level stuff, especially with my anxiety and stuff. No, thank you. But so, yeah, I was kind of the same way because I was just like looking up what do people think of Bullet Train because I think I remember something too, like it was kind of being like received poorly or something. Like I wonder why people didn't like it. I was wondering what they're thinking, and then I just found that, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll never know. I'll just gonna go to a different subreddit. Good movie though. That wasn't on the list though. Classic. But what is on the list?
Last movie I saw were the Minions.
The Rise of Gru.
Mini Boss.
Claire loves animated movies. Wouldn't go to the theater with me. I was like, I'll go see Minions. And the way she said it is, I want to see it.
Minions.
She's like, I want to see it, but I don't want to spend that much money on it.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay.
Aren't you guys rich?
I mean, it's still a racket, dude. Like,
but also,
whatever,
she's like, she's probably like, eh.
But like,
is it worth it?
For me, the theater experience is worth like almost any movie. For me, it's a big deal. For her, she doesn't like it as much.
Should I take it or leave it?
So for her, it's like
you guys need the Alamo Draft House where like the viewing experience is not really like it's different.
We do have an Alamo Draft House.
Far.
Wait,
for me, it's like 20 minutes, maybe.
See, that's far for a movie theater.
That's fair. Like, that is fair. But like, I would say I'm not really a big fan of the normal experience. But I feel like a lot of people have like this perception of movie theaters of like old theaters. But like now it's like you got reclining seats, you got food service, like movie experience is pretty wicked.
They be kind of nice with it.
It is. They do be getting kind of nice with the whole like customer service. Like I feel serviced when I go to a movie theater most of the time because man,
I will say
they go in.
It's dangerous when I'm going to theaters now, because right now I'm not on my Sour Patch grind at theaters. I'm on the Cinnamon Pretzel Bites grind.
Oh no!
And they ain't no better. Well,
pretzels are a trap too.
Well, don't worry. Hey, don't worry.
Absolute trap.
Always on.
I gotta shovel those things down, man. It's not good. Oh, and then we had a bit of a tiff. Me and the movie theater.
Okay.
Because they replaced the straw with recyclable straws. Which is cool.
That's fine.
Yeah. But it's the paper straws. Okay, but hey, save the environment. However,
I'd rather just have no straw.
Have you?
I don't mind the paper straw.
Have you tried to use a paper straw with an icy?
Oh,
no.
Spoilers.
I imagine that wouldn't work.
5 minutes in, the straw no longer works. Like nothing. It's just completely.
Well, Well, the extreme condensation that like gets left over from the temperature alone.
So what I was there's a new meta. I'd have to grab like 8 straws, and then during the movie take one out, open a new one, put it back in. I'm like, I got 5 minutes for this. So I will say
See, here,
they changed back.
I'm all about saving the environment too, but like, is my paper straw really helping when people are like crude oil is spilled into the ocean? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
am I really making that big of a
so
difference?
minor point here.
Yeah.
We aren't making a difference, Rob.
We
is
are.
the unfortunate? No, we aren't.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, good.
The unfortunate reality is we are not making a difference because the majority of pollution is from major oil companies and just in general major corporations. So the Americana myth of do your part to reduce global warming is really
Recycle.
just marketing tactics by companies to shift the blame
Deflect.
away from them.
Thank you,
Yep.
Blue. I always learn from you.
So I'm having to endure first world problems. Dude, my straw with my icy, man. But they changed back. It still says recyclable, but they're not paper. I don't know how that works. If they're good for the environment, cool. But you know what they don't do? They don't stop doing their job.
Icy.
Yeah, they don't stop their job 5 minutes in. In fact, I go the whole movie now. So there was a couple weeks.
Maybe you just bring your own straw now?
That would
Like,
be the
maybe you
mess.
just
Well,
come-
but they went back. That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
okay.
So we're cool. We're cool. You know, we hashed it out. Mono.
Did you tell them? Did you write them? Or like,
No.
hey.
Oh, well, okay. Well, now.
So now you're icy guy.
Yeah, now we're getting it started. Okay. Here's the other thing. Where are the icy lids?
Oh, what happened to those? That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing.
That was the best part.
I asked for an icy. Okay. They give me the icy. Cool. I go fill it up. Don't get me started when the Coke machine's out. Don't get me started.
Ooh, especially the Coke.
You got one
icy.
job. Yeah, that's right.
Wait,
you got one job.
serve yourself? You don't get the icy behind the counter? Like
There's
they
no
Oh,
icy
no,
behind
they
the
have-
counter.
Yeah, they
Really?
trust.
Yeah.
They trust us as art theaters. They're like, yeah, we trust. They're not going to get too many refills.
So they give you the cup, and I go over, and I go where like you get the drinks, the icy machines next to like the sodas, and then they got the stuff, you know, the straws, the lids, the napkins, all that stuff. Except they have icy lids, but they're smalls, which doesn't make sense because there are no sizes. There's just icy, and they give you the icy cup. So I don't know who's using these. And they used to have them, but now they only stock small icy cups, and they don't fit. And by like not fit, I mean it's not even like like literally you just, like it falls through. Like I don't know what it's for. So I asked them about it, and then they're like, I guess we're out. Except it's been 3 times now, so I have to use a soda lid. You know how much icy I'm missing
It's not
out
the
on?
same. It's not the
You're
same.
missing out on like an eighth of
I'm getting
the
scammed.
icy.
I'm getting scared.
That's valuable
Why don't
icy
you bring your
real
own
estate.
lids then? Bring your own lids.
Yeah.
Yeah, start bringing your own a metal lid.
Look, I go to theaters
A
for
metal lid.
for my comfy experience. I got my routine. They've really been testing me. All right, that's what I'll say.
So the Bullet Train is the last movie you saw?
In theaters, I think, because that was like a week and a half ago or 2 or something. Recently
hey, okay,
saw Lightyear on Disney Plus.
What did you think?
It was a movie.
Yeah,
That's what peak who asked for this movie. It was still, I was still entertained, but
Yeah, it was like if I hadn't seen it, I think my life would be the same kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, didn't really happen. We watched it. It was there.
one of the worst kind of Pixar movies you've seen in a while, and not bad, but just like very
Yeah, just like
plain.
It just very vanilla. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which nothing wrong, I guess, but that was just, I don't know. It was very much like a did we need this? If this is what it was going to be, kind of thing.
yeah, pretty much same.
What else? I saw Prey.
Probably didn't like it because there were 2 girls kissing.
Ew. dead.
Don't get me wrong. A lot of the backlash of it was absolutely because we're homophobic. But like,
There's like 3 throwaway lines.
also,
We're not showing this.
a lot of the backlash was definitely like, it wasn't a bad movie. A lot of the backlash was definitely
Yeah.
we don't want to say we're homophobic, but we're homophobic.
Like I think it was both China and
Yeah. Also, the fact that it didn't release in
some-
China was a big blow too.
one of the Middle East countries. What's that? Dubai? What's that country? I should know this.
Oh,
Saudi Arabia?
Was, Saudi
No.
Arabia.
I mean,
Right?
yeah, sure, but that's not Dubai. Dubai's. I mean, isn't Dubai its own nation?
I don't know. I'm looking
United States of Emirates, UAE, United Arab
up.
Emirates,
What country is Dubai in?
UAE. I think.
The United Arab
The
Emirates.
UAE.
My fucking
No, I think
G's.
Rob's
It took
right.
me a little- It took me. A
No,
little bit there.
Rob is right. It's the UAE. I mean, obviously,
Well,
Dubai's not in Saudi Arabia, but like
that's what I think. I think Saudi Arabia is the one that banned it. For some reason, I thought of Dubai. I don't know. But yeah, like Middle East countries were banning it too, and it was all because of the like lesbian stuff. Which, again, you watch it, and like literally, if it hadn't happened, it would like people wouldn't even notice.
yeah, it's literally such a small thing,
Like, I'm going
and it's
to work,
not
babe,
even.
alright, mwah. No, that's it.
Yeah, it's not even there. It's not even there to like.
Wait, is
I don't
Fruitmaster
know.
going to be banned in the UAE?
Oh,
Probably.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
China asked for a edited version.
And we obliged. We said, of course.
I said, yeah, you are 90%.
Okay,
of,
but hold on. Speaking of talking about stuff, I don't know if you guys put it down. Did you guys watch The House of Dragons?
Oh yeah, I don't know how I forgot to put that down. So much has happened, but also not much.
Yeah, I did watch it. It was...
What, Blue? I'll go first. I really liked it.
You
I
are
really
you are
liked
among friends, Rob.
Yeah,
You're
I
among
really
friends.
liked it. I thought it had just as much. I wouldn't say as much depth as season 1 did, because if you have to remember, season 1 of Game of Thrones was kind of a little slow at the start, and I felt less was the right kind of slow. Like I felt it took the best of like the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones and the best of like the last like 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, where they just had the right amount of action, but then the right amount of character build. But I think it's really awesome. Like there was that one scene, bro, that made me go like, is having kids worth it? Like, is having kids really that worth it?
That was a tough scene. We're telling you what.
Oh my god, for sure.
God.
But I really liked it. I won't get into spoilers or anything.
Yeah,
I liked it.
when Jon Snow traveled back 150 years. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
What
I was
is
like,
it?
holy shit!
This is-
The Game of Thrones multiverse.
They did it. I'll let you share your stuff first, please.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I did appreciate that it was more the back to the politics of Game of Thrones, because that is why I love Game of Thrones. The medieval fantasy politics. With a little splash of fantasy, and I liked it. I think the House of Dragons whole vibe gets the high fantasy thing correct in having the fantasy while still having the Durgans and the crazy shit. But I guess for me, I'm worried. I don't know. I guess I'm still spoiled, not in the good way, by my experience with the last season of Game of Thrones. So I hope wherever they lead, it's somewhere good. But for the time being, I'm going to enjoy House of Dragon. Like it was good, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
That's what Claire was. She's cautiously optimistic. I typically am. I'm usually pretty measured, but I said, whatever. Screw it. I'm excited. And I watched it. I was like, that was pretty sick. Mainly because it felt like it hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, same.
And I guess that's what I was looking for was like I'm not saying it's the greatest thing, but I was the same way where I was just so worried.
It hasn't fucked up yet.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, this is promising.
Mhm.
And ironically, I mean, it could change because Game of Thrones did the same thing. Like season 1 of Game of Thrones, there were many characters, but 90% of screen time was actually Ned Stark.
Yeah, first season especially.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the first season especially, but you know what I mean.
And then of course it changed, and that was the whole direction. But so what I'm enjoying so far, at least episode 1, and what it seems like in the previews and whatnot, is they're not going too wide. Like they're going with a tighter cast of like main characters,
Mhm.
which I think is just a safer play because it's harder to juggle. And you can do it well, like we saw with when Game of Thrones is doing it well, but it's much harder to execute. And so that's why
For
I feel a little more confident too. It's a little more measured approach. And currently we'll see how much change, but like part of it too is we're not jumping between 8 cities right now.
No.
And all this is going on. It might change a little bit. But I think like that's also why I'm a little more optimistic, is because it seems like it's not as grand, and not in a bad way, but in a way that like story-wise it will be harder to mess up. That's literally what I'm looking at. Is like I'm just worried like, okay, how can we mess this up? And so that's why I enjoyed episode 1, because like, okay, I like that, and it didn't mess up for me yet. So hopefully I get to say that for the next 9 episodes. And then continuing on, because like Claire was asking, and I assumed there's going to be more seasons. Like I imagine their plan is multi-season, because the way I thought about it is like, I doubt HBO is going to greenlight the next 8 Game of Thrones series and be like, it's going to be a one-off. I imagine there's going to be more seasons. We'll see where it goes.
I would think like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Because
they want to do like other Game of Thrones storylines.
Yeah,
apparently.
but I'm just saying, let's learn our lesson. Know when to stop.
Dude, but they obviously have the entertainment world by the balls, because 10 million people watched the opening episode. 10 million. That's insane.
And that's just open. Like the amount of people have probably watched it by now. And I mean, it goes to show you though, truly just how giant Game of Thrones had gotten, and also why it was so hotly contested those last couple seasons. Because I think part of it too was, I think it got bigger than HBO had even like originally hoped.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't even think they would have like, we're doing this, and we're like, yeah, wouldn't it be
this
cool
is
if
be the biggest thing?
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if it hit this and then realistically just blows it out of the water? So between that and just the new Lord of the Rings, I'm optimistic. We'll see first episode of that one. But yeah, that's what I liked about this first episode. A lot of like, it felt a lot of the political kind of more intimate kind of stuff with some action and whatnot thrown in. And as we see the promise of more action to come, if not more. So I'm optimistic. I enjoyed it, which is more than I could have hoped for, because I was really worried I was going to come out and be like, I'm going to watch it because I feel like I have to, but I'm looking forward to it. So don't mess up. And here's hoping. So.
I just saw news. Did you guys know this? Grenade launchers got banned for Kingsfall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, what?
The grenade launchers are like broken, so they're looking.
Yeah.
Oh, the heavy GLs.
Potentially, like grenade launchers aren't going to be a thing for Kingsfall.
Yeah, the problem is they were supposed to get a 10% damage buff in PvE this patch. Oops, it's 150%. So
how the hell did that even happen?
carried the one somewhere, I don't know.
What if like you remember when they gave like the auto rifles the 0.0002% buff in D1
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, it's intentional. Like every bullet's gonna be hit a little harder. What if they just doubled down this time and they're just like, oh yeah, actually, we
yeah.
did this on purpose. Yeah, this was actually grenade launchers were actually super underpowered, so we wanted to see like what they're like as a joke. Like let's see
Yeah.
like what it was like if they had 150%. Like this is intentional.
Meanwhile, they're over their fire extinguishers. Like,
But yeah, obviously this is such a obviously it was such a huge DPS game that they like.
Yeah.
All right, we can't even say we
Like,
did
it
this on
makes-
purpose.
yeah, it makes sense. Like,
Is it
because if it had
insanely
been like,
broken?
oops, it's 20%. I mean, 150% damage buff. That is massive. It's literally
seems to-
doing 1.5 times more. What triple or whatever? What it would normally be doing. So it is just blowing things up right now.
Which now that we're on the topic of Destiny, how'd you guys feel about the Bungie showcase?
Sick.
We
It was
had
sick.
quite a few things. We had obviously the Lightfall reveal. We had besides the Lightfall reveal, they talked about like the new
Fortnite.
the new collabs they have. Yeah, they got Fortnite, they got Fall Guys.
It's
and
on
then
Epic
they talked about
Games.
season. A lot of big things from Bungle.
I gotta be honest, I'm here for it.
You're here for all right.
I will
I saw
say-
the usual like the usual like Bungie knows how to bring me back, boy. It's like God, this looks so hype. So I was curious to see how you guys felt.
Well,
in the
I
same
think
boat.
one of the bigger things, because there's a lot talked about that I don't think enough people are mentioning is the fact that they are no longer sunsetting any expansions. Like no more content's going to get vaulted, which I know a lot of people are like, well, it's sad you have to say that in the first place. And I agree, but it's also a really good thing that going forward now, that's going to be the case because I know a lot of people's barrier of entry too. And whenever I would see some people talk about it, people who weren't really Destiny were like, I don't really feel like paying for stuff, and then knowing I'm just like it's gone. What's
which
the
is
point?
very valid.
Yeah. So it seemed like a lot of what they were doing too was like making it more approachable for new players. Which I still think that's a good step. You really got to figure out
The
onboarding.
new player
though.
experience is truly awful. So
They had like Guardian level or whatever, and almost seemed like that was going to kind of be a way to, but I still don't think that'll really like. As they either have to just, say, all right, we got to dedicate resources and make a genuine, it doesn't have to be a like Red War campaign, but some sort of thing that is a little more on rails to begin with, to just help new players, because otherwise it is overwhelming. And you open up the directory and you're like, what? So I think that's still something they have to tackle. But quality life stuff like in-game loadouts, sick.
very sick. Yeah, finally.
The actual LFG.
Yeah, I saw
Cool.
that and I was like, this is straight out of FFPF. Like this is the Final Fantasy PF, which is dope. We need more games with in-game party finders. Like
For sure.
I remember someone was like, they're just doing what some third parties are doing. And
yeah, that's kind of the point.
and that's a good thing. Yeah, because especially like developers will tell you too, each step out, especially externally for someone to engage in, the drop off is exponential.
Yes.
So the amount of people who play Destiny 2 who have still never used Destiny Item Manager or
I'm
the
so
LFG
bad
Discord.
with it, dude. Like I'm so bad with Destiny Item Manager though.
You would be
Like, it's-
shocked by the people who just don't use those tools because they're not in the game. So yeah, it's like, okay, we've already been doing this, but the fact that it's going to be in-game now is huge for players, especially newer players, more casual players. Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
From cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us where it all hurts, and it really hurts. That's why I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With every purchase, I'm earning cash back thanks to Upside. anytime I'm filling up on my tank, I use this app and I'm literally earning like a couple bucks every now and then, and it's awesome. It's like the only thing I use that like technically like earns me like points and earns me cash back and stuff. It's such a rewarding program. To get started, download the free Upside app, use promo code GG and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you'd like to buy on Upside. Check in at the business, pay per usual with a credit card or debit card, and get paid. Download the free Upside app and use promo code GG to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using promo code GG.
And it keeps you in the game. Like it just straight up
Yeah.
like that's why it works so good for FF for me, right? Is because it's like, like what am I do? Like I really want to farm this new thing, but like I don't have the group to do like it's like a Destiny, right? Like I want to like do a master, but I don't have friends who could do it, so I'll just wait for people. Like now it's like in FF, it's like, oh, if there's an EX trial my friends aren't on, I can just go in the PF. People are like, yeah, farming the new EX trial, you know, and I'm just like, wicked, I'll hop in. Versus because like I'm really not a big fan of using, you know, external like Discord and you know, website LFGs, because obviously like there's no integration. I can't just hop in, click the join button. You joined a party and now we're gonna hop into the activity we listed. It's way easier, way better.
The less
I think it's
friction, the
dope.
better.
Less friction, the better. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, both really positive. And obviously for certain players, like means more than others. Like Rob and I were saying, it might not mean as much to us right now, but like we were saying, like we would have killed to have this back in Destiny 1 when we were just playing casually, because like the LFG back then was trash, like the websites they had and blah blah blah. So that's cool. And then of course content stuff. Lightfall looks really cool. Aesthetics, big fan of.
I do like the cyber aesthetics.
It's like not
Very wicked.
yeah, kind of cyberpunk, but
Cyberpunk,
not quite like synthwave-ish.
Cyberpunk, but make it cheesy.
Yeah, and
which I love.
Yeah, and the thing too is like
very Thor Ragnarok cheesy 80s.
But it didn't come across though. I didn't look and go like, that's kind of cornball. Like I think from what I've seen, they did it
purely
tastefully.
From the aesthetic. Yeah. I do love that aesthetic.
The new subclass,
Strand. Yeah.
Strand looks pretty cool. Whittle, I like everyone else's supers. Titan for me, I'll see more. I mean, as much as I like the whole, you know, punch me punch. How many different supers of punching, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, we did just get a glimpse into it, so I'm sure there's more.
Well, that's why, like, I didn't see too much, so I was like, you know, the jury's still out. The lasso movement was probably the coolest thing to me.
That was sick. Yeah, the grappling hooks. Super excited for that.
The fact that you can do it too, regardless of terrain, because of like, you know, the storytelling of it too is like you're literally pulling it out from wherever Strand is, whatever. So like you can just grapple wherever. More, I'm never against more movement.
Same.
No, yeah.
And
Always
the fact that
movement.
all classes get it, I think is a big thing. What else? The story looks pretty cool. Some of the new, like the new, not Rolk, but Rolk looking dude.
Oh yeah.
Like those bosses are pretty cool. We finally, I guess we're gonna like, this is actually Callus now. We're actually probably gonna finish Callus's story that way. Witness is gonna finally be a bigger part. So the story looks interesting. The destination as well looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks so dope.
We
So
don't
Very
know.
cool aesthetic.
I'm hoping they make it a patrol space worth staying in a little bit more. I still feel like they have a little way to go with that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that kind of gets a little closer.
I think for me, what I'm hoping for is a more vertical patrol space.
Mm-hmm.
because we have
like
yet
that.
to really get like a sick vertical like buildings to explore, city. Like we kind of got it with like Arcology. If you guys remember Titan, a
Yeah.
little bit of verticality, a little depth.
But not a lot.
I hope we get that from this one.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, as much of a meme as it was, I enjoyed the European aerial zone.
Yeah,
Just because, like, it just felt fresh because we never have that kind of verticality.
you get to interact with building, like actually interact with, structures.
So I agree. That would be cool to have. Hopefully we see that. But all pretty promising stuff. Like there wasn't anything I was hesitant about. I was hoping to hear about Armor 3.0. I'm assuming that'll be in seasons after.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Like just how they've done like the new subclass upgrades. It's going to be their next fresh take on how to make armor, like better quality of life and better usage and a better system moving forward.
Better system for making builds is definitely.
And hopefully attaining mods and stuff because
Oh my god,
This, like-
that is we
Oh, yeah.
just need way better mod acquisition system.
figure something out because like I just didn't log in a week ago and I'm missing a couple mods and it was the first time it was sold in 6 months. I guess I'll see you in another 6 months. Whoops, I missed it. Like it's really annoying.
Guess I don't get them.
So yeah, they
Oh,
showed that stuff.
Did you talk about the loadout that they're gonna have in
Mhm.
the game? That is gonna be sick. Like
Yeah,
that
the
is.
loadout.
I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most is actually the loadout system because like I think with me like inventory like I get so overwhelmed at the shit Destiny throws at me constantly. Like I don't know what's good. I don't know what's bad. Like I don't know like the nuances of the game anymore. So I don't know like what gun is good and what gun is bad. You know what I mean? So I hope with like the loadout system they kind of like show you what is like a good roll and bad or something like that or some sort of
I don't think they would ever do that themselves because
Yeah,
the way players would then interact with loot. Because like, oh well, the game's telling me no one uses this. Trash. I don't think they would ever do something like that. I think those kind of statistics will probably always be third party.
Yeah.
Just because like that, like, and the game's saying no one uses this weapon, so why should I even bother? And then people don't give them a chance. And then for some people too, who like literally live and die by it, would not use some things and then complain there's nothing to use. Whereas maybe otherwise they would have tried different things and then found something they liked. So I don't think that will probably ever be in the game, but who knows? I think what else aside from then the new season.
All I know is that the newest season, the title's Scallywag, and I'm gonna get my first title ever.
Is a sick title.
You've never gotten a title in Destiny?
Nope.
I don't think he has no.
Scallywag will be the
Jeez.
first.
Yarg.
Because Blue's not gonna have Scallywag.
Yeah, but he's not a big
I
pirate
probably
guy.
won't. Probably won't have Scallywag. I haven't gotten a title in quite a long time in Destiny.
It's been quite some time.
To be fair, I mean, seasons just don't really engage me enough to make me want to get the season title. So, but Scallywag will be yours, Rob.
So yeah, and then they had the stuff like Epic Games, and then if you download it on Epic Games, you get the 30th anniversary for free for this whole week. All DLC is free to everyone on all platforms. They're doing the guarding level system. I think starting with Lightfall, that'll be a new system that shows levels. And you gain these levels doing certain things and helping people, blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
And then you can also like give commendations to people and like
this guy was nice and
Shout out Final Fantasy.
right. Well, that was the thing is at the end of it, some guy goes, "I can't believe they copied Overwatch." And I'm like, "You think Overwatch was the first?"
You think
Lord knows how
Overwatch did
far
the
back.
commendation system?
You're like funny to assume. Overwatch
Yeah,
was the
but
one.
it's like some of the ridiculous stuff with that is it's like I can't believe they're using guns in first person.
Well,
Like
it's
my brother in
it's
Christ.
it's like why wouldn't you want these things in most games? Like it's shit like the Apex ping system, right?
Yeah.
Like that is just the type of thing that is like, why wouldn't I want this in every fucking game? Like when Fortnite did it, people were like, I can't believe Fortnite just copied the ping system. It's like, what the fuck else do you want them to do?
Yeah,
Like
why?
make a
Why wouldn't
like make a interpret a fucking drawing for the ping system? Like what? Like some things are just so good and just so like why wouldn't I want this in the system? That it's like, yeah, put that shit in. Hell yeah.
And it made more sense to the way they were describing it in Destiny as well, because a lot it'll show your commendations and like what you're known for as well when LFGing, which I think helps, because then you can
Known for
immediately
being
know.
toxic.
Yeah, like okay, this person gets this, but this person gets this. Like maybe we want more of a leader, and this person's rated really well in leadership, something like that. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, it was one of those things I was like, why wouldn't they?
Why not?
So that was cool. And then yeah, new season. Love the aesthetic. I'm all about pirates, so love the aesthetic, especially the weapons. So far enjoying it. Excited for the raid. Yeah, all around I'm enjoying Destiny.
me
Lightfall
too.
looks sick. And as long as I keep a measured approach, I think the difference is just like knowing what I'm expecting from Destiny, and not expecting it to be exactly what I think it will be, and then also not feeling beholden to it. Yeah, me and Destiny are in a better relationship right now. You know, we've
I
come to an
agree. I think so.
understanding.
Me too.
Less is more for me. Like I know what to expect from it now. I know, like I'm being honest, like I wasn't like mind blown at the showcase. It was like some cool collabs, Wicked, Lightfall, expected it. New subclass, hell yeah. But you know, it's like it's very. I know everything I saw. I was like, I expected this for me. Like I wasn't like surprised, and like that's okay. Cause this is definitely Bungie's vision and what they want to keep going forward. And you know, they're very set in a design direction that works. And so I was like, you know what, Wicked, cool, more Destiny's always tight. I'm always gonna love more Destiny. Really hope that I will say one thing that will probably always get me super fucking hyped for Destiny is the prospect of a new legendary campaign.
Yeah, they are
Because
bringing
that
that
legendary
back.
campaign, sheesh, that
Yeah,
shit did slap hard. So
I am
the
excited for that.
Lightfall legendary campaign, you know, I'm ready for that shit.
Catch us there.
Catch me there. Catch me being hyped for Destiny there.
It was sick.
Unfortunately, not on the GGZ podcast. I love me some Destiny, but I love me some legendary campaign more.
Agreed. The
Um,
battle bus is in the game. which is
The
pretty
battle
cool.
bus. Misrex has a battle bus.
like, so how could you not like it? You know, where are we dropping? So yeah, Destiny 2. Destiny 2's looking pretty cool. And I know, like, even when I was like watching it, I saw comments like, "I haven't played in a while," or "I haven't played in 2 years. Is it a good time to come back?" I think what they're trying to do is to make it easier and more
It's
approachable.
always a good time to come back. Except for the
So
mod system.
yeah, unless you miss the mods, then
It's always a good time to come back. It's not always a good time to come back if you want to start build crafting.
yeah, like even I'm still limited to not as much because I almost have most of them now. But like, there's still a few builds where I'm like, okay, well, can't build that.
And I was lucky enough to be still like really into Destiny when the seasons were introducing these mods, like the elemental wells, to where like I played the shit out of it, so I got just about all of it. So I'm still coasting off of the seasons where I played a lot and I got most of those valuable
Very
mods.
welcome.
Yeah, I did not.
But other people like didn't get that. Like the Warmind season, the season of the law. Well, was it? It
was
was
just
because
all
we got
around
Tread with
there.
Light stuff all around. There's just a year where they introduced a significant amount of these mods.
And ironically, you know what
And
the year the least Destiny I played?
yeah, exactly.
So rip
It was
me.
the Shadowkeep. It was the Shadowkeep year where there was such a significant amount of those mods that got introduced, and like now all of the new mods are meant to build up and interact with old mods that people can't get anymore. So
Well, and I think part of it too for me was like, because like previous to that, there wasn't really like a lot of build crafting and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
And so when I came back, I didn't have any of this, and I didn't interact with any of it. And honestly, I started to have more fun with Destiny again once I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna figure whatever the fudge this is out.
Yeah.
And it's really not as daunting. And then you do it, and then suddenly it's like, ooh, I can do this, and then suddenly like gameplay is a little different, or the gameplay loop here. Oh, this is kind of fun.
Oh, for 100%. The way your cooldowns interact with each other, the way the killing a mob, picking up a little elemental poopy from them, and then getting a bunch of buffs that you use is like
And
it
for a
is
while,
engaging gameplay.
yeah, for a while I was just like stuck in my ways. I'm like, no, what is this? But then that's like when it clicked for me was when I was finally like, oh, hey, pay attention to stats and armor mods. And I do think it was even a little bit before that, but I do think 3.0 subclasses are a really good thing too. Those helped out.
Yeah, those definitely have a lot more synergy with the idea of building your guardian up.
It does.
Which is way
make you
better. I
feel-
mean,
yeah.
I think they finally figured out how to have many avenues of customization for how you play the game without it just being a screen like in D1 where it was just a screen of like, here's a bunch of icons. Yeah, pick one from a column. So I think they're doing a good job. Just, give us better give us better avenues to get those mods.
Please, yeah. Because that's the problem is like new people. It's like, oh, you could, but you don't have that.
Ooh, you missed that one mod back 2 years ago. Sorry.
Get destroyed. So yeah, it's lame, but that'll eventually get addressed. So that's like really just like my biggest gripe right now. So that was cool. Pokemon World Championships happened. We got a new trailer for Violet and Scarlet.
Yo, I'm hyper disappointed. I'm going to be totally real with you.
Really?
I was so excited because they seemed like they learned a couple things from Arceus, and I was really hoping that they kind of brought that same design direction for the battle system. And so seeing that it's just kind of going back to the old battle system was a little like one step forward, one step back type beat for me. But I mean, it's Pokemon, so they kind of do this all the time, unfortunately. But yeah, I was really excited to see how they built on the Arceus battle system, but seeing it was just same old.
Yeah, I was hoping they would. I'm in the same boat. Was like, what? Why didn't we bring this forward? Like what?
Why didn't we bring the real time system back that people really loved?
So,
but I mean, to be fair, Arceus was like a mid generation, spin-off technically. I mean, it's a mainline game, but it's not like, the resources they put into the new title, obviously not the resources they put into Arceus, but yeah.
But I mean, like we talked about it before, and we were hoping they would carry it over. It's lame that we might just now have to wait until Gen 10 or whatever for these quality life, like, because that's the thing too, though, is like, okay, well, maybe we'll get those then. Okay, well, that's like 3-4 years from now, which at that point we probably could have also like. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. Aside from that, though, like they showed some new like competitive moves and stuff, which looks cool. Not a big competitive player, obviously. I like watching it, but so I was like, how does everyone think about that on Twitter? They think it's cool. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, nice. I'll be honest, I was paying more attention to the card game World Championships anyway.
Pokemon TCG is hot right now.
Some bangers.
Also, I was very surprised. Just to interject, just real quick, I was surprised that Pokemon Go has a massive viewer base. Like Pokemon Go,
the World Championships
was like significantly
popping off.
significantly far and away more viewed than the VGC, the TCG. I was like, damn, all right, Pokemon Go players.
Yeah, that genuinely surprised me too. I was like, wow, okay, good for them. TCG still has the lowest, but that's to be expected. Well, I mean, technically Pokken, but if that's the dub we're taking, then but I think TCG has always been not as popular.
It's a collector's TCG.
Well, and the thing too is, until it might be different, if they had made their own Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Master kind of thing.
Man, you and me both have been preaching this, like shouting to the fucking chasms of the abyss.
And it's
like, just make a client that is actually like cool, and people will play your game. But until then, even Yu-Gi-Oh got it right, and Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't know how to do. The Yu-Gi-Oh game department doesn't know how to do anything. They got Master Duel right, and that is like a huge resurgence in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Because the thing too, though, is like when I was watching TCG, I'm kind of been out of it. So for me, I'm watching. I'm having to pause, look up cards. Like, what the fuck is this do? Whereas a lot of that is usually a little simpler in what should we call it? Like an actual video game, as well as like readability, like the camera. And if they had like full arts or something, it's just glare. I'm like, what is that card?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. My only complaint was lack of diversity. Literally every deck ran the Inteleon engine.
Yeah,
all six. Every finals of every division, Inteleon engine. Both junior decks and a senior deck were Palkia. Palkia won both juniors and seniors. And then Masters was mirror match of Arceus, which were the only ones, but ironically ended up mirror match in finals, which was actually pretty cool to watch because it was just like a giant deck of techs for all meta decks. And they even had techs in their decks for mirror matches. Specifically, it was Hisuian Decidueye. It was interesting.
Yes.
But like they had that flying Pikachu VMAX tech for like Palkia, and so it was cool. That's mainly what I watched. I still have to go back and watch the VGCs. I was saving those for later.
I'm really glad at Fruit Summit we got you to kind of play some like that deck, so you had a little bit of a spectating experience. Fun fact, we played some TCG at Fruit Summit, and I have one of my Dragapult and Inteleon decks, and which is literally like, hey, your deck is your hand, and Fruit was just
ridiculous.
Like, bro, what the fuck?
Like back when I played, like, what the fudge?
Fruit was like, what? Like, the fudge is this?
Like literally, like you can get whatever you want whenever you want. It was like, what the fudge? So like, it wasn't a surprise to me that every deck ran that, because it is just turbo busted.
Turbo busted for sure.
Like, dare I say, it makes things a little too consistent.
Yeah, when your deck is your hand, it's like, well, shish.
It's just like, who gets like first Drizzile out? All right, well, GG. That's fun. Otherwise, Gamescom's currently going on, but we're recording this a little early in the week, so only opening night has happened, and there wasn't much. There was this little trailer, whatever you want to call it, in-game trailer for Neil Blomkamp's new game.
Oh yeah.
It was. I don't know what I watched. Felt so cornball.
What was it?
You'll have to. I remember the name of it. It was like the end of the presentation. But yeah, it's like Neil Blomkamp's been like working on the shooter game or whatever. So they finally had like
that's the Last of Us guy, right?
No, he's like District 9 or District 8, whatever the fudge is called. And why the fudge can't I think of other Neil Blomkamp movies? Anyway, big director, like Hollywood director. And yeah, I don't know. It ain't looking good, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, aside from that, wasn't too many reveals yet. I'm sure there will be a lot.
No, the Dune MMO. You know that.
Oh, I did hear
look
someone
Junior
this night.
mom.
The
Mom?
Dune MMO could be pretty sick if it works out and is actually good.
That was such a weird,
It does.
very
well,
unexpected for me. I was like, all right.
without knowing more, yeah, it's hard to understand. Because I heard that and I was like, wait, MMO? So I think you guys just like said it yesterday out of pocket. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
That wasn't a joke? Wait, what?
no, very, very real, very real.
So, I mean, we'll see. If it's good, then, hey. But yeah, it just seems kind of weird.
A Dune open world survival MMO.
Oh, you lost
Dune?
me at survival MMO.
Yes, a Dune yes, MMO survival. Like,
See,
Anytime I hear survival MMO, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna play that.
because what does that mean? Because are they talking like Rust MMO? Like what? I don't really know what that means. Because
I could
I don't know.
I could see that.
I mean, it could be cool. It's a cool universe. Again, though, as someone who hasn't bothered to put many times in MMOs, I gotta wait until you show it to me, and then it's gotta wow me. Literally right now, I have no MMOs on my horizon radar except League. See you in 5-6 years.
Yeah, I was like, psh.
And I think that's just the other thing too, though, is MMOs were the hero shooters before it was cool.
100%.
Before Destiny came out, and then we got a lot of hero shooter clones. Yeah, you got MMOs, and then it just created this bad.
You got the looter shooter clones. You got the.
So now I hear MMO and I go,
Same.
My first thought is to recoil, not be like, oh.
Ooh, yeah, exactly.
So,
ooh.
I mean, if you can pull it off, sweet. And if New World showed me anything, I'll grind. But I don't know. I'll stay optimistic, but it just seems strange.
It was a very out there. Who asked for this? But I mean, I guess people did.
And I that's just it. If it turns out to be cool, hey, sweet. I
Yeah,
benefit. Hey, whatever.
Hey, new MMO, I'll try it. Will I like it? Well,
Time will tell.
we'll find out.
As well as I watched a little bit on Monday, Rob. Some whatchamacallit? Preseason for football. But I just can't. It's not the same. I watched about 5 minutes. And I'm like, yeah. I just couldn't care less about those games. They mean nothing.
Yeah, they're preseason, right?
Well, I was watching it, and then it just gave me the issue. I was like, man, how soon until season?
Yeah, it's got nothing on the Octo box. As soon as I hear the Octo box, I also have my fantasy football drafts this weekend, so I will be in town. To deliver something kind of cool to you. Do you want to see what I actually have one for you too, Blue? I have to send to you. These are current concepts that we're doing, and we're seeing what the kind of reception is we get from them because we're still working out with the details with John. Who's been on the podcast before, but we're looking into
Posters?
getting these posters done of your guys' splash arts of content whenever that rolls out. So I have this one that I'll bring to your crib while I'm down there, and then Blue, I have one of yours as well.
Oh,
so pretty cool.
wicked!
So yeah, we're gonna look into posters. Yeah,
looks like a high quality too. It's a clean
really
print.
high quality. Yep, very clean print. Yeah, you'll see it when you get it. You can flex it.
Oh, sheesh. That's sick. GZ.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to touch on before Q&A?
No, not really. Just I don't know.
You guys had me for one question because unfortunately I do have to
Copy that. Make it a
take a
banger.
quick dip. So let's make it a banger question.
Okay, I'll pick the banger question. I'll find a. Okay, Goo Boy says, howdy, everyone. Congrats. You're a Pokemon gym leader. What's your main typing and who is your ace?
Oh, fuck.
Come on now.
Come on, man. Yeah.
I would probably have to go.
I'd go electric. And my ace would be Zapdos.
That's a good ace. He would be
Gym
considered
leaders
like
don't
a
have
legend.
legendaries, but whatever, dude. I'd probably
Or
go
Electakid.
poison, aces, Toxicroak. Come on now. But I think so many of the poison Pokemon too never get loved. So
I respect that. You know what? I'll do a low key pick that doesn't get enough love either. My pick would have been. I would have done like a. Obviously, in a perfect world, I just have every type, right? But if I'm a gym leader and I'm a specific type,
I was gonna guess normal. It was gonna be Silvally.
yeah, but I don't
That's
want
my
to pick a
guess for
legend
you.
because Silvally is technically a legendary. If I would probably just strictly off of being a gym leader, I would probably be like a flying type gym.
Oh. Have we ever seen that?
Yeah, we have, but I would be loosely flying because there's so many flying types. Like I'd have like flying secondaries. Then my ace would probably be like Mega Pidgeot.
Okay.
Mega Pidgeot ace. That would be wicked.
Where's my Mega Toxicroak, man?
Where's
Probably
my
wherever
Bellsprout?
they left the Mega gimmick in the dust, even though it was the best gimmick they ever
Well,
did
everyone's
by
like,
far.
why are you bringing it? We don't care. We're Megas.
Everyone is like, bring back Megas. Oh, you guys want terrestrializing? What the fuck? No one asked for this.
The diamond
I
stuff.
I
That's
think
pretty
part of
cool.
it
Mega
too is
evolution.
I think part of it too is they're sitting there like, we don't know how to balance this. That has to be part of it. We're like, we don't know.
What do we do? We've
Yeah,
opened
and
up
then
That has to
Pandora's
be part
box.
of
We
it.
don't know how to balance this. Create fucking Zacian, one of the most busted Pokemon ever. Like, come on, Pokemon. Get it together.
That's your worry. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll figure out the terrestrialized thing when I play it, but it might just be up there with all the other, like, I kind of like Dynamax, or specifically, I thought it was an interesting thing to watch when I watch competitive, just because like when people would use it, it had some strategy and like how to play around it.
Well,
But like Z moves,
Z moves, someone like that.
I literally
was like, oh my
stopped
God.
using them because I'm like, I don't want to sit through this animation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this animation can take forever. For
Dynamaxing was sick for the same reason people loved Mega Evolution, is getting a cool new spin on Pokemon we already love. So Dynamaxing was fine, but it was the Gigantamax versions that really made Dynamaxing popular.
Yeah,
and
because
for the
otherwise
same-
it was like
for the same reason. Like new Pokemon forms, fuck yeah! New Pokemon forms are our favorites. No one's gonna say no to that. Bring back Mega Evolutions, you bitches, you sluts.
they're like,
Bring it
we
back.
heard you. You can turn into a crystal.
We heard you. Look at this funny crystal flower on the top of Sprigatito's head. You like that?
Which-
you love that?
Which they do mention, like, speaking of balance, like, they showed, like, Tyranitar can now add Ghost type. So it's like, the fudge are you supposed to do against that? Lord only knows.
But Mega Evolutions are unbalanced, y'all.
Yeah. So, no, it beats me. But yeah, that would be my team.
Okay, Blue. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Go enjoy.
Oh
your
yeah.
day.
Unfortunately, I gotta go do some IRL things before I gotta have more IRL responsibilities. So it's been an honor. You guys can see me everywhere at Mr. Fruit. Have a good time with these boys.
Hey, go check
as
that
they
Nelnet,
continue.
baby. Let's see if you got that student loan forgiveness.
Oh wait, that's
You know,
right.
see, check if it hit. Except I paid mine last year. Which is whatever.
Well, I mean,
I get free 10K, baby,
at
because
least I
I'm
can
not
pay
gonna
it. That's how I look
25K.
at it. It's like, well, at least somebody can feel how I feel. You know what I mean? When I pay
well,
it.
that's the bizarre thing, though, where people are like, well, I had to pay it, so...
Everyone else has
yeah,
to. I don't
nobody...
get that.
What? You can't get it for free. What?
Like I paid mine, and it's like, oh, I hope there's somebody out there now that like feels like how I did when I was
Before I
able to pay
go,
them off.
why do they only want the negative things? If you got a house so easy when you were a kid, why wouldn't you want us to get the same way? Oh, but do you just want people to suffer where you had to suffer, not where you got free success, right? Fuck you.
What a
That's
mobile.
my piece. Yeah.
Go enjoy. Boys.
Bye.
Question from How says, "What are your opinions on the new Apex season?" I haven't played at all. I've been really slacking on Apex, and I really want to play. I'll be real.
Yeah, the new season came out like either during or right after Fruit Summit.
Yeah.
Was busy, and then subsequently was busy editing and recording stuff. So I haven't really had time. I haven't really played games outside of for leisure, really anything recently. Probably won't until new TFT set pod.
When does that come out? I saw like the new dragons and stuff.
Like 2 weeks, I think, or something.
Nice.
But I saw it when they first unleashed the cinematic. I haven't actually seen the new legend in game. Seems cool. I don't know. I just saw first reactions like day one. They're like, she's ridiculous. She's probably like low tier now. That people just play with her more today. Kind of bummed. I wish I was playing though, just because I know they like changed some of Kings Canyon. That's the map right now, and I love me some Kings Canyon. But
me too.
Game's doing well. Good for it. I watched the Apex Championships again. Those happened like 3-4 weeks ago. That's fun.
Yeah, it was cool. Blemish, who helps a lot with finding clips for the TikTok. So shout out to Blemish. Mr. Fruit, just want to say my sister says you sound like Jeff Goldblum.
I don't know if she's heard me or heard Jeff. Clearly she hasn't really heard one or the
other. Fenrir says, Mr. Fruit, can I possibly see a returning video of Stick Fight? Rob Blue, y'all down? Also wanted to say, just started EMR school and I'm hyped.
What is EMR
I don't
school?
know. Emergency motor retention.
Call me crazy. I think you're right. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I like Stick Fight. Stick Fight was cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's almost no game that I can't even really think of a game that I've written off for videos ever.
Yeah, and Christian
Not
can
that
always
it's
just be
not.
like, "Hey, we're playing this." Is that? Yeah.
Oh, emergency medical response. Okay.
Okay.
Well, good luck. That's not
yeah.
easy.
Goo Boy says, "Howdy, everyone. Congrats on your." Oh, okay, that's the one we just did. Zoes says, "Hey guys, question for everyone. If you got invited to a YouTuber boxing match, who would you fight, and do you think you would win? Knowing Robbie's fighting skills against kindergartners, he'd probably fight KSI." Okay, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to make me cut up a promo so KSI sees it. Why accept the challenge?
Yeah. Well, good, because
you know who I would love to fight, and it would have to be 8 months in the future so we could both train. I'd love to have a boxing match with Dado. I think we both kind of the same kind of body type. I think we both are the same kind of height. He might be a little taller, but I think that would be a very fair and good fun match to do.
I think that is the problem with all these creator fights. Is it's like, we've got Joe over here, 6'3", with a reach of 8 feet, versus Mr. Fruit, 5'10", with a reach of 2 inches.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, I didn't see the result of that. Ooh, weighing in at 200 and 150.
Yeah, it's just really crazy.
Me and Tierzu, baby. Got that beef.
Okay. I like the Tierzu.
Time to settle it.
We don't know what he looks like, but
how you gonna stall in the ring, huh? How you gonna stall in the ring?
You can't.
No substitute here.
Next question from Ricardio says, "What animal companion would you want to have in an apocalyptic setting?"
A dog.
Bear?
Just want a dog. Someone to love.
Hey, you could love a bear.
Yeah, but I'm assuming they don't magically just become completely domesticated and you can just
Come on, bear.
I mean, realistically, I guess if we want to go like that, like a sheep, 2 sheeps. If I can
You
get a
want
pair,
Why? Why do you want 2 sheep?
it would be something like that. Like, okay, well, I'll have a supply of wool, or like cow. Can I get 2 cows so I can at least,
Domesticate.
yeah,
Or,
like cow.
like,
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I guess it was real sort of like like cows or chicken, something that will actually help you live and survive. But a dog would help me survive emotionally. So
Okay. Moon Pie says, "Hey Rob, congrats on the proposal. I actually proposed just a few days before you did. My question was, where's your hiding spot?"
you copied him, Rob.
Yeah, I
Kind
know.
of cringe, dude.
Yeah, Jack and his steez. Before you had the ring in the bag on your camping trip, where did you stash it? And same question goes for Christian. I hid my ring in a sock I folded into another pair, and I just prayed. My fiance didn't come across it, and just come across it the same day while cleaning. In my closet down here in my office, I have just shoe boxes on shoe boxes because I used to have a big shoe problem. So I just put it like in one of those boxes. And I knew like she wouldn't be like, "Hey, let me see those like Nike boxes you have." Like she's not like that. So that's where I had it.
Leading up the months, I think my dad had it at his house. And then the day of, it was in a camera bag that she wasn't messing with or anything. So it was, I wasn't even giving it a chance. It's just, it's out of here.
Fenrir asks, "How does one ask, 'Will you engage to me?' Sounds a lot weirder than 'Will you marry me?' And IDK, what that wording would be."
What?
I mean, you just say, "Will you marry me?" I'm just gonna stop the question there.
Yeah, what are you trying? You trying to? You want to be engaged,
Will
but
you
you don't.
engage to me, but you don't want to marry them?
Yeah, I don't really understand your question.
Will you marry me? I don't know. Mark Rasay says, "How do you guys feel about Destiny characters in Fortnite? I've already seen videos of Savala knocking whole teams with the Kamiyamama."
Kamiyamama. Classic.
I know, but I did see one of the Bungie devs post Savala doing the gritty
Dancing behind a Korra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cursed.
I think it's cool. Like whatever. Like at this point, whatever goes into Fortnite is cool.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I think if people are like, "I hate Fortnite," I think you're cringe. Like, be real with yourself. Like, we don't hate Fortnite.
Well, it's one of those things too where it just gets to the point though. It's a lot of people whose identity is to just hate popular things, who think that's an identity. It's just like, oh, you like that? I don't. When in reality, it's like, it's Fortnite's not the game for me. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
It does cool things. I can't lie. So,
How says, "What is the biggest thing this year that you are looking forward to?" I guess my cousin's wedding in October, or the Patriots versus the Bills this year. That's going to be pretty crazy.
those will be good games. Not really.
Or the World Cup this year. The World Cup, they come in this winter, so that'll be sick.
Thanks for the existential crisis. Now I realize I have nothing to look forward to. I don't know. There's no big plans. I got nothing. No.
All right, Sag. Noah says, "What is one moment in y'all's careers that was the biggest catalyst of your success?" Him.
Me. There was the subreddit
Yeah, the Destiny 2 subreddit.
when they took up the No Land Beyond advertisement video, or no, is the Husk of the Pit.
Necrochasm. Oh yeah, that's right.
Husk of the Pit, and then the next one was No Land Beyond, I think. But yeah, when they
What was your subscriber growth after that video? Like
couple thousand.
and
Off that, like,
was
one
more than you
video.
had ever gotten. Like,
Yeah.
ever. Like
It already like quadrupled whatever I had. And then that was the thing is, even though that was my viral moment, it wasn't viral in the sense that people would look at viral now.
yeah,
It was, in fact, it wasn't really. It was a catalyst and then sustained growth. It wasn't like like the Among Us for me. That was viral.
Yeah,
And
that
that's
was
like
viral.
when you look at a graph and you see beep, beep, that's viral. But for me, it was like beep, and then just a
Like,
slow increase.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which I was very grateful for. And that's usually healthier in the long run for people. Like more things. Even look at my
shit, dude,
channel.
we're still here 7 years later, technically. Like,
Yeah, virality is like a double-edged sword. It's like 50-50. You'll come out of it back at nothing, or your next PewDiePie. Like it could go one way or the other. For instance, my Among Us career. You know, I didn't come out PewDiePie. Unluckers.
Starkin says some of your favorite games at the moment. I'm playing Mass Effect 1 right now on stream, and it's really fun. I like it. Definitely could tell it was made in 2007 though. It's like the remastered like edition.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, like that's you got to give it some.
exactly, and that's like what I keep telling myself.
Because the
people are like,
game,
God, this combat sucks, and it's like, guys, this shit was made in 2007.
well, and the game for its time though was ambitious and did some cool stuff. But I think that's one thing though is like if anyone told you they baited you, Mass Effect was never known for its combat.
Yeah,
even
No,
at the
I know
time,
that.
it wasn't great. But it was the sheer size and story and branch and
Yeah, it's really cool.
characters.
I really like it.
Been playing Legends of Runeterra's Path of Champions mode when I do cardio. Still grinding Epic 7.
You can play a game while you're doing cardio.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, it's a card game, so it's like, you know, like just occasionally dragging something.
Ezra says, what is the best way to y'all deal with stress? For the last 2 months, I've been dealing so stressed, my health has been suffering, and I just don't know what to do other than what I've already done. I work out, man. Like that's what I found out what works best for me. Like right after this podcast, I'm gonna go to the gym. Sure, I may not have as good as a workout if I didn't stream all day and stuff like that, but I have to stream and I need to make content and stuff like that. So if I go in there and have just at least a decent sort of workout, it makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel like I can do that the next day and then the next day.
Well, and if you didn't go, it's 100% more than you did. So,
Yep.
So that's why I think that's a trap people fall into too. Is like every workout has to be the best.
No.
But at the end of the day, if you got in,
like if I just go there and do like 2 shoulder workouts instead of doing what I normally do or something like that, and skip out on core maybe today or something like that, but at least I fucking got there, you know? Like,
I mean, yesterday was chest day for me. I was supposed to start with 5 sets of incline chest press. I did 4, and none of the rest of the workout. And you know what? It's all right. Just wasn't feeling it that day.
hey,
And that was
that's all
still
right. You don't have to feel it
still
every
better
day.
than something. So yeah. I'm pretty similar working out. Or I like completely disconnecting and just laying out in my hammock in the sun. And
Which
then,
means like no anything going on, right? Like
yeah, no, I'm just
laying
vibing in my
down.
hammock. Usually ends up taking a nap. Just chilling. Letting myself exist, because I'm really bad at that.
And that's okay.
I'm trying.
Next question here is from Pot already had about the last question from Addie. Says, would you rather shit your pants at a random time every day for the rest of your life or work a job you hate till you retire? I'll shit my pants randomly.
I'll wear diapers, no shame.
Yeah, like that.
Be a little uncomfortable. But hey, also, I'm gonna be honest, I'll get pretty good at cleanup. First couple times will be a big annoyance and it'll be a whole thing, but I'll get a system down.
Yeah.
I'll have things on hand to make it easier. Probably got like, for sure, extra diapers. I'll have spare clothes wherever I go at all times. You know, wet, moist towelettes. Probably some sort of odor eliminating thing. Maybe some baby powder. You know, I'll I'll get to a point where it's just like, oh, it happened. Boom, boom, move on.
Yeah, I would probably say you can't put a price on your happiness. You know what I mean? So if pooping my pants every day means I'm feeling a little bit happier than I would have, then so be it. I poop my pants.
And think about it this way. It means you're probably never spending time in the bathroom.
Hell yeah.
Because I already pooped.
I already pooped. But that'll do it for the GG Over Easy podcast today, episode 148?
7.
I'm 148
Close
next
enough.
week. I missed.
Close enough. Get ahead of
But
yourself.
thank you guys all for listening. You guys can find us on the TikTok. You guys can find us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube,
You can
all
see
over the place.
Rob hitting a sturdy gritty the Aki way.
Yep. We learned what the Aki way is now. I'm not explaining
Which
it
still
'cause
is, yeah, it's still bizarre.
Yeah,
but
I still don't really get it.
we were explained, doesn't mean we really understood. So hope you guys enjoyed listening to this podcast. And perhaps some of you are listening to it the Aki way. I don't even know what that would look like, and I don't want to know. So thank you. We will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Deuces.